Welcome. Today we want to talk about recession-proof job seeking,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. I mean, there are economies ups and downs, and I think it's really important to start first with understanding how to assess the climate.
Yeah.
Like, is it up or is it down? I mean, you get so much competing
Yeah.
news. There's so much going on.
Well, let's talk about right now. First of all, recession, we know if there's a recession, people
Right, of
say it, but
course.
there are a lot of other modulations that can happen that can affect the economy, that can affect hiring.
Right.
So, for example, a big bank falls apart, like happened last summer. Everybody responds to that. Anybody within the financial industry and anybody who use or is a customer to or a vendor to the financial industry. So the ripple effect is pretty broad. But right now, in this moment of time, we have an impending election. So whenever there's a presidential election, the markets just kind of wait to see what happens. We have 2 wars.
Yeah.
Again, another thing that slows decision making down. And remember, the industry you might be targeting for a job might have nothing to do with military or air force or weapons or whatever, but it doesn't matter because your industry might make a part that goes into an airplane, or they might be a consulting company that works with big aeronautics companies, whatever. I mean,
so the hiring may be happening in those industries because
it may be in those industries, right? So kind of knowing the connection. So when you've got election cycles, you've got world conflict. And then, of course, we also just kind of an uncertain economy right now. We're seeing numbers that are kind of
real
confusing.
estate. And,
Rates are up, inflation, all those things. So any one of these factors can make an employer just rein in a little bit. It's uncertainty. And the bottom line is that employees don't want to hire you and then fire you. It's not a good look for them. It's also costly to them because if you continue to bring people in and let them go, your unemployment rates go up. It's just not a good MO to have a way of operating. It's certainly not good for your reputation.
All right. So if all of this is happening, so what are you saying? Like, you just don't apply for jobs?
You can still, if jobs are being posted, still try to network your way in. But I think the key here is resetting your expectation and then changing the way you present it.
Got it.
So if we know right now, we've talked to plenty of our client companies, they have hiring freezes going on. You know, you can't hire any more people. We've got to keep the job, the head count where it is. And that happens a lot. And it's very common in this moment of time and in many other moments of time as described. That doesn't mean the work goes away though.
Okay.
All right. So you and I, let's say we had a hiring freeze and we needed to hire a PR person. The need for that PR person doesn't go away. We just can't hire them. Right. So the key is remembering that. So when you're having a conversation with an employer, if there's a job posted, but more likely if you're networking with someone in the industry or talking to a recruiter, making it known that you're open to alternative ways of employment. So one way to handle it would be say, you know, Kelly, I am really interested in joining your team, but I understand there aren't any jobs open and that you probably still have a lot of work. So let's talk about where your major pain points are. Where are you really understaffed and how I might be able to help on a contract basis.
So contract work.
Looking for now, we know that most people who are looking for work want a regular full-time job with benefits and security, but there's kind of no such thing as security anymore. We know that. So take that off the table. And if you're being paid a fair enough wage, you should be able to at least buy short-term benefits, right? But the biggest advantage to going in as a contractor is that then they're seeing you work. You have such an advantage of anybody else who might apply for that next regular job that opens up. Because if I get 1,000 applicants on my job board for a job, I don't know if these people are really skilled. I don't know if they're going to show up. I mean, you are already proving that you are clean, you're human, you're showing up at work, you're doing work. You are leagues ahead of anybody else who's applying for that job. And you also will be first to know that the job is being posted. Because you're as someone who's working there. So if you can get out of the mindset that I absolutely need to have regular full-time employment with security and benefits and all that,
have some flexibility with how you're thinking about it.
Exactly.
And the strategy at which you're coming at your job seeking.
And it's just putting it out there. And it can even be in an interview. You might actually see a job posting and actually have an interview where they're saying, you know, we're really trying to work this out. We're not sure this position is going to be funded. You know, we're just trying to, that's a great way to hedge your bet. Say, I get it. You know what? Ideally, we always want to bring regular full-time employees in, and I would prefer that kind of role myself. But if you have work that needs to be done and I'm available and I'm really interested in this organization, might it be worth looking at bringing me on a contract basis?
Right.
And so setting yourself up for that opportunity. And just one last aside, in my last company where we did placement, we were placing MBA moms in flexible jobs. Most of them had senior level roles, but they wanted to do them flexibly, and most of them were returning to work.
Okay.
Even though we were looking at placing people in regular jobs where they just had a flexible schedule, I don't know, probably a third or maybe a little more of our job, the assignments that we got from our clients were contract, maternity leave coverage, and special projects. 70% of the women that we placed in maternity leave coverage or special projects were offered full-time jobs, even if they weren't looking for them.
Yes.
So, and I think you'll find similar numbers elsewhere in other placement organizations. So just remember that contract work can be your foot in the door. It can be a great way for you to test out and be tested, and a great way to just bridge the gap between an uncertain market and a market where there's robust opportunities.
Awesome. So there you have it. That's how to recession-proof your job search. If you liked what you heard today, you can hit like and subscribe. You can also learn more about our company at www.preparetolaunchu.com.